Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have FSD Beta 11.3.4, the long-awaited unified stack 11.3.4. So we're going to take it out on a mixed run where we have some local roads, we have some freeway, we have some traffic lights and intersections, and see how it does. I'm going to edit it down just to keep it interesting and fast-paced, but I am absolutely not going to hide any interventions that I might have to make. And by the way, there's a new feature. If I have to disengage from FSD, I'm actually able to press the right-hand scroll wheel and give verbally the reason for the disengagement. That's pretty cool. So I can actually talk to them, tell them why I disengaged, and hopefully that builds to a better and a more improved FSD beta the next time we get an update. Now, I have gone into the settings, and on autopilot, I've done something interesting. I've changed it to assertive. Is that a contradiction in terms? An assertive Canadian? We're all peaceful and but we have average or chill. Those are the two alternatives, but we're going to go with assertive. Double tap, and immediately you can see that the wand in front of the car is now fatter. It shows let's just make this bigger. Okay, of course, it's got a creep in order to see that it's safe. And that was very good. Very good. Now, some of the differences are pretty hard to quantify, but I think the biggest difference for me when I drove this on Sunday, when I first got the download, was everything felt smoother. It wasn't that it was perfect, that nothing was wrong, but everything felt smoother. Stopping at the lights, taking off, following. Nevertheless, we are on the assertive mode. So we're going to have to see how that changes the driving here. And in Canada, while Canadians may not be all that assertive, their driving style certainly is. Okay, that was pretty smooth. We've moved into the right-hand lane. What? Okay, no, we're staying here. It began to think it should move into the left lane, and then it changed its mind, and it moved straight back. I love the visualizations. It gives you some level of comfort. We're going over to the right, which is fine. Single lane goes into two. The car decided that the right one was the one we'd need to turn from, and that makes good sense. Red light ahead, car slows down gradually. This is better than I could do, honestly. That's phenomenal. So there's a very definite feeling here as we're comparing this to the previous versions. It just feels smoother. If you like to say more confident, we could say that. Light change green, takes off smoothly. It doesn't jerk and accelerate quickly. It takes off smoothly and then accelerates. As you can see, we passed the truck that was on our left, and lights just changed and it picked up speed. Now, there is a truck ahead over the next intersection, and it is moving, but it's a big truck and it's slow. Let's see if we get through these lights. Yes, we do, because there are cameras up there. I've been caught by those once before. So we have a right turn coming up onto the freeway, the Trans-Canada Highway, which is beyond the next two sets of lights. About 150 meters after the intersection, we have the turn onto the freeway, which you can see the bridge ahead. So far, so good, and I mean very good. Now, this is a little tricky here. There's a right turn that goes over a bicycle lane, and oh, no, that was good. That's fine. There was a guy on a bicycle, but he wasn't about to cross. And instantly my speed changed to the 80 max. I've put it 10% higher, so it's 88. I can, of course, still roll the scroll wheel and gain some more speed, which I will do. And, oh, perfect. That was very smooth. Just blended in with the road. There were no cars behind. It was very easy to do that, but very often in the previous version, what it would do is it would wait till the very end of the merge and then jump in. Now look at that, changing lanes quickly and smoothly. Didn't require me to do anything because we still have just under 4 kilometers before we have to turn off. Okay, turning right. This is because the Capilano turnoff is 2 turnoffs further on the highway, and Red Dragon is moving into the right lane now because most of the traffic is flowing at about the same speed. It wants to be ready to turn. And by the way, for those who are wondering, what's it like to have a yoke steering wheel? It's absolutely wonderful. I would never go back to a circular wheel. Easy to get used to, very quick. And here we get a turn off right. So there we go. Good turn. Now we have to actually keep to the right here because we're going to go up the hill, up Capilano. So far it's staying here, but it needs to go right. Oh, it did. It did. Let's see if it changes its mind. No, it stays here. And it's coming up cautiously to the pedestrian crossing. It sees all the cars ahead, so it cannot just go. Let's see what happens here. It's all clear now. And it goes. Okay, that's impressive. It pre-selected the correct lane. It moved up and then it did this creeping forward to check for traffic thing, which worked perfectly. And let's just see here. We've got a turn off coming ahead. I'll keep it like that for a while just so we can see that the turn off that it takes is the one that we planned to take. So let's see what happens here. Curb lane exit only. See, this is a tricky thing here. Curb lane turns right and has to turn right. Oh, we are going right here. Okay. Stupid me. It intended to turn right here, and it has turned right. So let's expand that again. In 400 meters, we have a left turn on Sunset, so that's not far ahead. By the way, the sun's now coming out, so I don't know what it's going to do to the cameras, but it's good to have sunshine here in North Vancouver, where we have so much rain. 160 meters. By the way, one thing I do like is, let's just give it a chance to make a good turn here. This is an actual stop, and so it's, you know, as you arrive, so your turn comes up. So let's have a look what happens here. Okay, and it's waiting. All right, there it goes. It did cut across the corner here, but there were no cars. It's what a human would do. We would do that. I'm glad it didn't try and take a 90-degree turn and it did a smooth turn because it's much more natural. Now we've got several turns here and a very curvy looking roads. We come to a stop sign. This is, by the way, a 4-way stop. So it's going to turn right over here, which it does. And there are cars parked, making the road quite narrow, but it's handling it well. Good navigation. Still have to touch the wheel every now and then, and we haven't got yet to the version that says you can keep your hands off permanently, so we have to give it the reassurance that we are here and we're touching the steering wheel. By the way, touching either the volume control or the navigation speed control counts as touching the wheel. So if you just roll it, it assumes you've touched the wheel. I do like the way that when there's a parked car, it moves a little bit to the left, like it did now, and then it moves back into the center of the lane. So it's very cautious about parked cars, especially if there are people exiting those parked cars. Here we're going to go up left. It's quite a steep hill and a bit of a turn at the top. Here's a... Yeah, it slowed down for the bump in the road. It didn't used to always do that. It slowed down perfectly. So this is 30k. My max speed says 40. So there's a disparity. It's not reading the road sign. It's reading the information in the mapping system here. But as you can see, it's a very sharp corner. And All right, now this is tricky. There's a person, there's a truck, all kind of things are happening here. So the car navigates its way carefully. It sees the person on the left. Oh, that... oh my gosh, that was exactly like a human would do it. There's no difference. That is how I would have done it. Slow right down, curve around them. And what are we doing here? It's a left turn. So it's treating this as a stop, but it isn't an actual stop. On the other hand, if the car is more cautious than it needs to be, is that really something to complain about? So we're heading across here. Ah, it's beautiful. That's it. It's really slowing down when it needs to. With a turn, a sharp turn like this, it slowed right down, winding its way between parked cars, and doing exactly what I would have done. In fact, I might have even gone a bit faster, but I appreciate that when it sees bends in the road, it sees traffic parked on each side, it slows right down. And here we go now. It has to creep a little bit to check that there's no cars. Then it just moves. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to end at this traffic circle. I'll disengage. It'll probably disengage itself. 25 meters. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we're going to go now. I'm going to disengage and turn around. And in the second leg of the trip, we're going to an area known as Lonsdale Quay. It's right down by the water side. It has a very tall tower, but we have to go through traffic lights, and we have to go through probably cones and construction and all kinds of things. So we're just going to change the navigation quickly here. Double tap, let it take care of that, and it does. And this is going to be an interesting leg. So, oh, bird. Yeah, you know what? That bird ran right across our path. The car slowed down a little, but it obviously realized this is just a tiny bird. It's no danger to us, and it just carried on going. Maybe it's been programmed to know that birds can always fly out of your way. Okay, this is again tricky because narrow road, and if there are cars coming, there's sometimes not a lot of space. Let's see what happens here. We're gliding left. Excellent. It didn't stop because there is no stop sign. But here we have the same car, same truck that we went past earlier. We're just doing a reverse for the first part of this trip. It slows down. It slows right down. And it carefully winds its way around the truck. 2 thumbs up for that. That really was good. So I'm going to turn left here now, going down there. So it cannot see any cars, and down we go. This is quite a steep downhill. Oh, my seat's getting hot. Let's turn it off. Ahead of us there's that hump. Slows down, takes it gradually, and then picks up speed again. So far, no disengagements. Nothing but perhaps overly cautious slowing down and stopping, but no disengagements. And this was not an easy route to navigate because it involved highway or freeway, it involved stoplights, it involved lots of curvy roads and steep hills. Very sharp turn, and we go to Stop Street, and we're going to turn left. So at this stop, we turn left. Oh, there are cyclists. So that's fine. I'm indicating to them to go because I know the car is going to wait. So here we go. Yeah, look at that. Very deferential to people, pedestrians, cyclists, mothers pushing prams. And now we're going to go through Edgemont Village, which is kind of a busy and sometimes confusing area. So light's green, car goes forward. It chose the correct lane, by the way. Didn't sit in the left turn. Now there's a Model 3 waiting to join the road, but Red Dragon's not worried about him at all, or her. So yeah, Edgemont Village, small rustic little village with a lot of special interest shops and stores. There's a Model S on our left. I always tip my hat to them because they are the Model S and Model X are what gave Elon the money to develop the Model 3 and then the Model Y, and hopefully soon the Model 2, although I'm sure he's going to call it something different. All right, so we're going, as you can see from the map, we're going straight. Let's expand that. Oh, look at that. Turned right ahead of us, and that was good. Now, there's people coming there. Watch. There we go. That was good. The car inched forward until the pedestrian determinedly set foot into the intersection, and then it immediately stopped. So what are we doing here? We're braking. Well, the light's gone red, so I understand that. And we're going straight across. You can see the blue. They used to call it the wand, but the path goes straight across. So there is a bit of a movement to the left, but this car over here, the truck, is turning left, so we're going around him. And look at the pedestrian walking over here. Now they've turned this way. That's amazing. The camera's still tracking from the rear cameras, from the repeater camera. It's very nice to have this visualization because, there we go. For a moment, I thought he was not going to turn left and he was going to cut ahead of us, but he didn't. The visualizations are terrific because they give you a sense of confidence knowing what the car is able to see, what the car detects. If it's on here, the car is aware of it. And somebody steps into the pedestrian crossing, what do you call it? A stroller, a dog, and a person. And the car cuts in front of us, no problem. Red Dragon slows a little. It's really nice, it gives you the chance to look around at the scenery, such as it is. And we're crossing the freeway. Down below us is the Trans-Canada Highway that we were on earlier in this drive. That was interesting. An Iranian house with woman, life, and freedom painted over an Iranian flag on the side of the house. So they're not in Iran, otherwise they would get persecuted for that because it's obviously pro the women's movement in Iran and giving them support. So look at this, very sharp. Car slows right down. So it's apparently 30 kilometers an hour here. I'm going to push that up because I got cars behind me not happy that I'm going this slow. But what can you do? You've got to more or less follow the speed limits and the speed requirements. Moves left to avoid the cars. Moves right again to stay in the correct lane to cross the intersection. Listen, so far, it's unbelievable. This version 11.3.4 with the unified stack is performing very maturely, very smooth, very mature. Of course, the lights are red here, so we have to wait. And there we go. It's changed. Car moves forward almost immediately. No, where are you going? That was not good. The car tried to turn left at that intersection when it was clearly mapping to go straight through. I've taken over manually here because that was completely wrong. Unless the car had changed its mind and remapped, that was just, it was incorrect. I don't know what it was. So we're on this road now. I've engaged full self-driving once again. We're crossing the intersection. I heard my camera up in the front there going off. So you've no longer got my face, but that's fine. So we have an upcoming lane change, which is going to take us right. So the car indicates, it knows it can't move yet. And of course this Tesla on my right is hugging very closely to the back of the truck. It wasn't a Tesla, sorry. Ah, now there's a gap. Didn't take it. Did not take it. Okay. See, here's a real difficulty is how do you get in when there's heavy traffic and you don't have a lot of distance to go? So at the moment, we're just sitting in the intersection here. I mean, I would say that's okay, it took it. It took it. So there was a gap. It waited till there was nothing behind, and we successfully got in. But I will say that a human would have done that more quickly, more vigorously. So assertive is perhaps not assertive enough when it comes to finding a very small gap in a very short space of time or distance. But at the moment, we're good. We're on the right route. So far, so good. It is a simple route from here until we turn down Chesterfield Place. So just a very sharp end in the road here, but it's not a stop. And see, it took that corner way too wide. I was not going to disengage, but it should have hugged the yellow lines and not gone out to the right-hand side. It wants to go on the right. That's correct. It knows we have to turn right over there. Turning right over here. Of course, the lights have just changed on us. Once again, let me confirm. Slowing down, stopping, and starting. Very mature, very smooth, very human-like. Making turns, creeping forward at stoplights or stop signs. Very good. Sometimes selecting the wrong lane, still a thing. It's still a problem. That turn to the left was very scary because it was going right off. It was going right off the mapped route, and there was no reason for it. And we were already in the line to go straight ahead. So anyway, now we're going to go. And this basically takes us right down to the sea bus or the ferry that would take you across from North Vancouver into downtown Vancouver. So basically we are literally here. I'm going to disengage and we'll just come to a stop. I'll just park for a few moments. So the bottom line is 11.3.4 is a radically improved version. It's not yet perfect. Clearly, as you saw it about to take a left turn where it should not have. That was a mistake, and I reported it. But in terms of its general driving and its awareness on the road of people and parked cars and activity going on, it is very good. I could not really fault it this morning, only when it stopped when there was no stop sign, but the road forked very dramatically, and I guess the car needed to see that there was no one coming around either of those two access points. Other than that, beautiful drive. I have no doubt that the lane issue will be solved. I was more interested in the issue of narrow roads, very sharp corners, people walking on the road, and it was virtually faultless. So am I happy with 11.3.4? You bet. See, I told my face about it. I am happy. And I think you will be too. So we're getting very close to the arrival of competent, full self-driving, where you literally can trust the car. And this was a ride that demonstrated that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Looking forward to doing some more tests as we get updates to fix different things. And please subscribe, click the notification bell down the bottom, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks very much for watching.